Welcome back. Once again, we're talking about another school shooting. This time it's in Troutdale, Oregon, a suburb of Portland. A little after 8 in the morning at Reynolds High School, a lone gunman armed with a rifle began firing shots. One student was killed and a teacher was injured. The police say the shooter likely killed himself. It was only 2 days ago, of course, Sunday, that 2 police officers and a Good Samaritan trying to help were gunned down in Las Vegas by a husband and wife duo driven by an anti-government and white supremacist ideology. Well, today's shooting was the 116th mass shooting incident in the country this year, according to a website that tracks them, shootingtracker.com. It was the 74th school shooting since the massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, according to the new group Every Town for Gun Safety. Well, some of the names have become iconic in a perverse way. Virginia Tech, Sandy Hook, Fort Hood, Columbine, the Washington Navy Yard, the Aurora movie theater back in 2012 that killed 12 people, the Tucson shooting where Congresswoman Gabby Gifford was shot and 6 people were killed. What accounts for this horror? And why is this such a uniquely American phenomenon among Western nations? Jim Cavanaugh is a retired ATF special agent in charge and an MSNBC analyst. And Shannon Watts is the founder of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. Anyway, this afternoon, President Obama was asked about the recent mass shootings. He said his biggest frustration as president so far has been the fact that, quote, this society has not been willing to take some basic steps to keep guns out of the hands of people who do unbelievable damage. Here he is.
We're the only developed country on earth where this happens. And it happens now once a week. And it's a one-day story. There's no place else like this. The country has to do some soul searching about this. This is becoming the norm, and we take it for granted in ways that, as a parent, are terrifying to me.
Jim Cavanaugh, can you answer this? Why is this so American? And those of us who love this country, which is everybody watching pretty much, we wonder, why is it in our, I know it's a part of a cowboy culture. I know that's part of it. Every man has his own car. Every woman has their own car, their own house, their own life, total independence. But that part of it, the gun part, and the use of the availability of guns to people who shouldn't have them is now manifest and known to everyone watching. And either you're going to treat it like, you know, Groundhog's Day and ignore it and laugh it off, or not laugh it off, just dismiss it, or you're going to try to keep thinking what the president's thinking about. Why here? Why us?
Right, Chris. Well, when voters' real fear of having their families slaughtered at the mall, at school, at college, cops gunned down in the pizza parlor, you know, at a resort town, when their voters' real fear eclipses the phony, exaggerated fear of a tyrannical government coming to confiscate your guns, then we'll have change. You know, I've seen you say it, and you're so right, that people want to blame the gun lobby or the NRA, but those supporters in the NRA support the NRA's position. It's up to the voters of America to vote for the representatives, senators, congressmen, and state leaders that will make the necessary changes, not gun confiscation, but the necessary steps like the Moms Demand Action ideas and mental health issues that would make us safer, make our kids safer, make America safer.
You know, Shannon and I grew up watching cowboys on television. I love Gunsmoke and all those shows. I know they were violent, but I loved them. And the one truism of Wyatt Earp and all those shows was that there were gun ordinances. Leave your gun, check them at the city line. There was a notion that you didn't just walk around with impunity shooting each other. And the sense that there were local laws that could protect individual people from too many people with too many guns. And now we've got to this notion that any restriction on the use of a gun, if we'd have anything short of open carry in every bar room in America, were somehow unconstitutional. I just think this interpretation of the Constitution has gotten crazy. Well, by their theory, you should have a bazooka walking around just blowing away everybody in front of you if they cause you any trouble. Your thoughts?
That's right. I mean, you know, I do blame the gun lobby and the NRA for this. They've created a monster who no longer obeys them. But if you look at school shootings, you know, what the president today said that the country needs to do some soul searching. It isn't the country, it's Congress. The country is clear. We support background checks. 90% of us support those background checks.
Why don't people vote on this issue? Why don't people vote on this issue?
We are voting on this issue. Watch the next election.
Gun law, I want to explain something to you. You know the difference as well as I, but I want to reiterate this. If you're like some people and all you vote on is gun rights, that's your only issue, You beat the people who only think about it once in a while. And until the gun control people go into the voting booth with nothing else on their mind, not Benghazi, not anything else, but stopping the crazy availability of guns in this country, will they be able to stand up to the gun lobby?
You're right. And we're going to make this one of the top voting issues for women in this country. Watch us in this midterm elections. We're getting at least 1 million people to commit to voting with gun sense in the 2014 midterms.
Your response to that, Jim?
Well, you're both right, Chris. I mean, Shannon's right and you're right, but you're saying from different angles. But let me put it together because you're both saying the right thing. The people feel this way, but the people don't transmit that into action. And so when we say not one more, what that means is you need to register to vote, and you need to vote. You need to vote for a candidate that will make the changes, whatever party or independent, doesn't matter. If that candidate will support to block the violence at some level, reasonable law, reasonable restrictions on mental health issues, then, you'll have the change.
I like the old argument of the NRA or the people who support gun rights, which is guns don't kill people, people do. Okay, go with that. And stop those people from having guns, the ones you're talking about. The guns don't just fire by themselves. Somebody, a nutty person goes out there with all kinds of political attitude is using those guns. Anyway, thank you, Jim Cavanaugh. We'll be back on this issue a lot, I hate to say, because of the news. Shannon Watts, thanks so much for joining us. You have great points. We'll be right back after this.